My selfish father cut me out, doted on his stepdaughters, then asked to attend my wedding. I'm Mia, 28, female. My father, Daniel, erased me from his world, spoiled his stepdaughters endlessly, and then dared to ask if he could come to my wedding. Growing up, I always sensed something was wrong between us. He worked hard, but it wasn't just that. He was emotionally absent. He barely connected with me or my brother, Leo. My mom tried to keep things stable, but the tension between them was obvious. They fought constantly, usually over trivial things. Bills, chores, minor mistakes. Daniel had a way of twisting every issue to make it seem like our fault. I still hold on to a few good memories, though. He's the reason I love classic science fiction films. We'd sometimes watch them together, joking about the over-the-top special effects. But those moments were fleeting. Most days he'd come home exhausted and irritable, taking it out on us with sharp words and a cold tone. He made us feel like burdens. There were rare times when he seemed kinder, but only when nothing irritated him. The smallest mishap, like leaving a window open, would trigger a disproportionate outburst. He'd call me irresponsible, accuse me of disrespecting the house. Leo had it worse. He challenged Daniel more, which only escalated things. Once, Leo asked why Daniel never spent time with us, and he exploded, shouting about how hard he worked to provide for us. I grew wary of speaking to him. Eventually, my mom couldn't take it anymore. Their fights grew unbearable, and she filed for divorce. I hoped things might improve afterward, that he'd step up as a father. I was wrong. A year later, Daniel remarried without telling us. I learned about his new wife, Rachel, and her daughters, Emma and Zoe, from a relative. They were at the wedding. Leo and I weren't. It was a brutal rejection. We cut contact, deciding we were done chasing his affection. For years, I focused on myself. I met my partner, Alex, and built a happy life. But when we got engaged, I wondered if I should extend an olive branch. Before sending invites, I unblocked Daniel on social media and instantly regretted it. His profile was a shrine to his perfect family: Rachel, Emma, and Zoe, grinning in matching outfits. Captions gushed about how they completed him. He'd never posted like that about us. Worse, I discovered he'd taken them on lavish trips, something he'd never done for us, and bought them pets after refusing us even a goldfish. He'd once given away my childhood cat while I was at school, no explanation. The hypocrisy stung. Then came the final blow. Leo told me Daniel was paying for Emma and Zoe's college after insisting Leo and I take out loans because that's adulthood. I was furious. Alex helped me see that Daniel wasn't worth the emotional energy. But the universe wasn't done. My mom called to say Daniel was boasting about walking Emma and Zoe down the aisle someday, while ignoring my upcoming wedding. Then Leo revealed Daniel had gifted Emma our grandmother's antique bracelet, a family heirloom meant for us. That was it. I blocked him everywhere, resolved to move on. Months later, Daniel reached out via Leo asking to attend my wedding. I wrestled with guilt, but ultimately refused. My mom reminded me, "You owe him nothing." The day itself was joyful. My mom walked me down the aisle, and Alex's love washed away old hurts. Later, Leo shared that Daniel had called, saying he was proud of me. It didn't fix anything, but it offered a sliver of closure. After the wedding, life settled peacefully, until my aunt called. Daniel was seriously ill. I chose not to reach out. If he wanted reconciliation, the effort had to come from him. It never did. Now, I've made my peace. Closure isn't always given. Sometimes you create it yourself. I don't need Daniel's approval to be happy. My family, Alex, Leo, my mom, is enough. And that's the real resolution. Months after my aunt's call about Daniel's declining health, I received an unexpected package in the mail. The return address was unfamiliar, but the handwriting, sharp, slanted letters, made my breath catch. It was his. Inside was a small wooden box and a sealed envelope. My hands trembled as I opened the letter. Mia. I won't waste your time with excuses. You're right. I failed you and Leo. I failed as a father. Writing this feels pointless because no words can undo what I did, but I owe you the truth before it's too late. Rachel and the girls were a distraction, not a replacement. I threw myself into their lives because it was easier than facing the mess I'd made with you. They didn't know me at my worst, so I could pretend to be the man I wish I'd been for you. It was cowardly. The bracelet was your grandmother's. I gave it to Emma in a moment of guilt. She'd asked about family heirlooms, and I panicked. It's yours. I've included it here. I don't expect forgiveness. But I needed you to know. The regret is real. Every vacation, every tuition payment, every proud dad post. It was all a performance to outrun the shame of losing you. Daniel. The box held the bracelet, its engraved initials catching the light. I traced them, tears blurring my vision. Leo's voice snapped me back. What's that? He stood in the doorway, eyeing the box. I handed him the letter. He read it silently, jaw tight. Do you believe him? I don't know, I admitted. But it doesn't change anything. Leo exhaled. Yeah. Still, it's something. Winter came, and with it another call from my aunt. Daniel's condition had worsened. He's asking for you, she said gently. This time I hesitated. The letter had cracked something open, not forgiveness, but curiosity. What would it cost me to see him one last time? Alex squeezed my hand. Whatever you choose, I'm with you. I chose to go alone. The hospice room smelled like antiseptic and wilted flowers. Daniel looked smaller, frail beneath the sheets. His eyes flickered open. You came. His voice was rough. I crossed my arms. I didn't come for closure. I know. He coughed. Thank you. We sat in silence. Then quietly he said, Tell me about your life. About Alex. So I did. I talked about our tiny garden, the dog we'd adopted, the way Leo had started therapy. Daniel listened, tears in his eyes. When I stood to leave, he whispered, I'm sorry, Mia. I paused at the door. Me too. Daniel passed 2 weeks later. Leo and I didn't attend the funeral, but we lit a candle at home. Rachel's daughters posted tributes online. Best dad ever. But I felt nothing. No anger, no grief, just quiet. Months later, sorting through old boxes, I found a photo of Daniel teaching me to ride a bike. His hands gripped the seat, my grin wide with trust. Alex wrapped his arms around me. You okay? I tucked the photo away. Yeah, just remembering. The bracelet sits in my jewelry box now. Sometimes I wear it, sometimes I forget it exists. And that's how healing works. Not in grand gestures, but in small, uneven steps. The seasons changed, as they always do. Life moved forward. Alex and I bought a house near the mountains. Leo got engaged, and Mom finally mastered her infamous lasagna recipe, after 7 attempts. The sharp edges of my past with Daniel softened with time, like stones worn smooth by a river. I kept the bracelet in my jewelry box, taking it out only on rare occasions. Sometimes to wear, sometimes just to hold, wondering about the grandmother I never knew. It was a quiet reminder that some stories don't end with neat resolutions. They just fade. One evening, while cleaning out the attic, I found a dusty shoebox labeled Mia's Stuff in Daniel's handwriting. Inside were report cards, a dried corsage from my first dance, and a crumpled drawing of our family, stick figures with oversized smiles. At the bottom was a note, for when you're older, so you know I kept you with me, even when I didn't know how to say it. I sat back on my heels, staring at the words. Maybe in his own flawed way, he had loved us. Maybe love isn't always enough. That night, I dreamed of Daniel. We were in the backyard of our old house, and he was teaching me to whittle wood, just like he'd promised when I was 10. In the dream, he finally showed up for the lesson. When I told Alex about it over coffee, he smiled. You made peace with him a long time ago, he said. Now you're just making peace with yourself. And he was right. The truth is, some relationships aren't meant to be fixed. Some wounds don't fully heal, but you learn to carry them lightly. You learn to build a life around the love that does stay, the kind that shows up day after day in lasagna disasters and attic discoveries and quiet mornings with the person who knows your heart. Daniel's ghost doesn't haunt me anymore. It just passes through sometimes, like a breeze through an open window. And that's okay. The end. If you enjoyed this story and felt the emotions behind it, don't forget to give it a like, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel for more real-life experiences and heartfelt stories. Your support means the world, and it helps us bring more content like this to you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.